Hey there, it is Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
What a pleasure to talk with Pat Bradley, founder and CEO of Crisis Aid International. Pat, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you guys?
We're doing well. We see the coffee back there, and I think I need another cup. So if you could just pass that along, that'd be awesome.
I will send you guys some. It's our coffee that we use for raising funds.
Awesome.
All right. Yep. We'll talk about that as well. You had quite the transformation, I read, when you visited the South Sudan some time ago. In fact, I just read an article this morning. 8.3 million people in the South Sudan need humanitarian assistance. That's a large number of people. Talk about your transformation a bit, will you?
Sure. I went there on a research trip, and it was in the year 2000. So we had reports of what was going on with the atrocities. So we spent 2 weeks on the ground, just going from village to village and meeting with military, and literally see for the first time in my life, people that had absolutely nothing. I mean, they had just nothing, trying to survive in one of the harshest environments on the planet. And on our last day in that country, we came across a group of people that were about 70 men, women, and children. They were the survivors of a village that was attacked the night before. They were literally hundreds of miles from food, water, and shelter. We had absolutely nothing that we could give them. And we prayed with them, and what do you do? It's just, and it was just gut wrenching. And I remember as we were pulling away, I looked back over my shoulder, and I just clearly heard God speak to my heart. And he said, doing nothing is no longer an option. I'm going to change the focus of your ministry work.
Wow.
So obviously he's done that and given you a heart for the folks there in the Sudan. So what was it that originally made you go down there? Was it a mission trip, or what was it that originally sent you there?
Sure. I was on a board of an organization that dealt with Christian persecution on a global scale, and we were getting reports about it, and we decided, well, let's go see for ourselves what's happening. And that was the genesis of what began a trip that changed my life forever.
Yeah.
Now, are you primarily in the South Sudan, or are you where are you you guys ministering?
So now, over the next month will be your 20th anniversary. So we've worked in 11 countries. Right now, all of our focus is in East Africa, and also in the United States.
Now, I'm sorry, Dan, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I did read that you guys have provided recently 17.8 million pounds of food, 2.6 million, to adult and children, and then also dealing with sex trafficking victims, a little over 1,300 or so. Wow.
Yeah, those are numbers in 2020. Today, the sex trafficking victims is over 2,000.
Wow. Now, is that becoming more and more of an issue because people are looking for ways to make money? Why is this? I mean, obviously, we know sex trafficking is a major global issue, but why specifically in Sudan? Is there reason?
Well, we're not actually doing it in Sudan any further. We're doing it in East Africa and then here in the United States.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is a global problem. Now, tell us a little bit about how you get food and how you take care of the folks, not only in East Africa, but in the U.S.
Sure. And in East Africa, we've been working there now since 2003. And so we've got dedicated staff that works there for us. And we've got a lot of different kinds of programs. We have 2 children's hospitals. We have water programs, an education program, an orphanage, very much involved in sex trafficking rescue and helping girls reestablish their life. And then in the States, we have a big food program that really ramped up when COVID hit and the lockdowns came in. At that point, we were feeding about 100 families a month. And within a 3-week period, we jumped that up to 4,000 a month.
My gracious.
Still presently doing that today. And then the sex trafficking naturally is here in St. Louis. And then we just opened another office, and it'd be planning to open another home in the Grand Rapids area.
Do you find that people are surprised that here in America that food assistance is needed the way it is in Africa?
It was a shock to us because we've been doing this for 20 years here, my wife specifically. And then it's like COVID just, the lockdowns opened up I don't know what word to use, but open up what's truly happening behind the scenes. And so right now, like we work with community partners. And so we have 33 community partners serving in over 120 different communities in the St. Louis region that were virtually, people were not getting help. I mean, how they survived, we don't know, but desperate poverty and people needing help.
Now, Pat, maybe I missed this? Is the 4,000 just right there in the St. Louis area, or is that nationwide?
No, that's just in St. Louis area.
Wow. Oh my gracious!
Wow. Yes, and we could do another 4,000 if we, had the resources, frankly.
So how do you gather? What is your plan now? You obviously have a plan, and you want to grow. You want to take care of these people. What is the plan, and how can folks help that are watching and listening right now?
Well, the number one thing, and I'm just being transparent about this, we're a nonprofit and we need funding. So definitely donations would help. And then prayers, we definitely need prayers because there's a lot of things we've got our hands into, and we just need prayers for wisdom, continued and increased favor from God, and just a lot of insight and understanding.
Tell us about the coffee back there. You said that's one way that you help. Tell us about that.
Sure. We one of the areas we work in East Africa produces some of the best quality coffee beans in the world, rated by whatever organization does this. But yet we have coffee farmers who have children starving to death. And so to get in our food program there, which right now we feed about 10,000 people, to get in our feeding program, we take the family, but each family has to have at least one child that's severely malnourished. And when I use that term, that means that child will die if he doesn't get help. Wow. And so we've got about 10,000 people in that program, many of them coffee farmers. And so we decided, well, what more can we do? And because we're working in an area where some of the best quality coffee comes from. So this coffee comes from a region called Yirgacheffe, and it's a single origin heirloom coffee, and it's USDA certified organic.
And it's called, is it Ojai?
It's O exclamation point.
Oh, okay. Okay. It looked like an eye there.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. Here, let me grab a bag.
Yeah, there you go.
How's
so
that?
You drink that coffee, it makes you go, oh, wow, that's good coffee.
Yeah.
I thought it said oh hi too, and then I thought, okay.
Quick funny story. We went around for probably 3 weeks trying to come up with a name, and the creative director I was working with finally just got frustrated. He goes, "Oh, blank." And then it's like, wait a minute, we got the name, drop the blank part, but that's how we found
it. Pat Bradley, founder and CEO of Crisis Aid International. No doubt you can get the coffee on the website.
Yes, sir.
Which would be a great thing, a way to support these guys. And as he mentioned, donations because they're nonprofit, and prayer as well. I know you want to feed, get everybody fed. What's the goal for 2022 besides being fed? I mean, definitely being fed, but what else do you have coming up in 2022?
Well, we want to break ground for a new girls' home for victims of sex trafficking in the Grand Rapids area, as well as open 3 more offices for our CAP program, which is our Child Anti-Exploitation Program. And that's where we have full-time employees working side by side in police departments. So now I think we're in 6 different police departments where we are actually now be able to get the girls before the traffickers and the pimps and predators find them online. It's something that's really exciting to us because we can now uncategorically state that we are helping rescue girls before they become victims.
Pat, just overall, what has God taught you through all this, through getting Crisis Aid started and everything that He's done through the organization?
You know, here's the thing it taught me is that all God needs is our yes. All we have to say is, yes, God, use me in whatever way that you want. And He will. And so our job, our role is to stand up, get out of the church pew, say, yes, Lord, here I am, use me. And I promise you, God will be faithful and show you exactly what He wants you to do.
Yeah.
20 years ago, you said you were in the South Sudan and God spoke to you. Wow. You look back and you see all the things that God has done, right?
Oh, honestly, if I knew back then what I know today, I'm not sure I would have gone through with it. Because
that's why God didn't tell you.
We had a marketing company, I was a partner so I owned a business, and we had 180 employees. So, I mean, I had my hands full, and the last thing I really wanted to do was start an organization. But lo and behold, here we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's called Crisis Aid International. Pat Bradley, he is the founder and CEO. Pat, thank you so much for not only your time, but your sacrifices. Many you guys have made, you and your family and your team. And thank you for taking care of folks, feeding them, and helping the folks in sex trafficking. No doubt you guys will be just continuing to grow and to touch people's lives. We'd love to talk to you again in the late spring, maybe early summer, if you're up
Sure.
for it.
Sure,
Crisis.
yeah. We have a book coming out about that time.
Well,
Perfect.
we'll talk about the book. That sounds great. Crisisaid.org is the place to go to find out more and buy some coffee and help support.
Coffee.
Yeah. Oh, coffee. There you go. Thank you. Crisis Aid International. We'll be right back. We got to take a break. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.